All right, Shalom. First, I can start by saying all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakadash, double honor to the elders and the apostles that we will, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. That ambulance was just riding past and he had the sirens on. And he turned that shit off as soon as I started the camera. And I was thinking in my head, like Babylon in this confusion and all this dumbass noise that goes Satan. They end up turning that shit right off because I was gonna make the announcement while my face was on the camera. We ain't gonna have none of that bullshit in the kingdom of heaven, but you're gonna need a whole lot of emergency paramedics to pick them Edomites and them heathens up after we get through fucking them up. From fucking up according to the law, or just from messing up in general, just for getting payback. Let me bring the precept out. So I'm not gonna start the scriptures with the lesson off with this, but I'm gonna get into it. Bear with me. Sorry, I can bear with me. Phone taking all day. This is Revelation chapter 2 verse 25. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. Right, so you're supposed to hold on to the testimony. Hold on to the word, the true understanding of the gospel, you know, and not change up the word, man. And he that overcometh Jacob's trouble, all the hell that's gonna break loose, and keepeth my works unto the end. Right, so you got to keep the testimony regardless of what you get put through, even if you have to take death. To him will I give power over the nations. Right, you're gonna be a king in the kingdom of heaven, having slaves, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And that's what's going to happen in the kingdom of heaven. We're going to be fucking these nations up. We're going to be killing them, beating them, stomping them out. It's going to be payback, righteous payback for all the slavery that we had to do, all the things that we had to endure, the poisonous paint, the rats, what they did to our women, whether you black, Latin, Native American, or Puerto Ricans, having to fish out silver from I think it was a river or something, and they died trying to mine silver. All the cotton that we had to pick, the Benjamites, so-called Jamaicans, Willie Lynch used them first, broke them in first with his tactics, then came over to Judah. The so-called Native American Indian tribes and the Seminole tribes, which is Reuben and Gad, what do you call it? What did they do? The smallpox, all the peace treaties they broke, them Indian reform schools, I forgot exactly the specific name to it. We gonna get payback for that. They gonna need emergency vehicles to pick them up. But we gonna have the power, we gonna have so much power that we gonna kill them and bring them back to life. We gonna have power to kill them there, make other heathens pick their bodies up, and we bring them back to life later. Everything is gonna be done in accordance to righteousness. But it's gonna be payback. Give me a second. This is Psalm chapter 2, verse 7. I will declare the decree. The Lord Yahweh hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. And this applies to us also. We get the truth, we're going to receive the heathen for an inheritance as slaves. And the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. We're going to own the world, as well as the rest of the planets, though, not just the earth. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. There it goes again. Thou shalt dash them to pieces like a potter's vessel, right? So the Lord gonna give us that ability to deal with the heathen in that manner because of what they have done unto us. This Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Right, so they put us in slavery. So we're going to get to put them in slavery. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. How did they kill us off? With whether a sword, revolvers, how do you say it? The Gatling gun. I think that's how you say it. I had to get the specific name to it. But the weaponry that they used to take the nation of Israel down. They was hanging Jacob. They just got a new case of this young black boy who was just hung sometime either last week or this week or something like that. I'm gonna bring that up too. All right, this is Google.com. I put in weaponry that they used to take down the Native American Indians. Or the Native Americans. It says, European colonists used a variety of advanced weaponry against Native Americans, including firearms, steel weapons, cannons, and horses. However, the most devastating weapons were not military in nature, but the diseases and calculated tactics of the colonists. See? They put us into captivity and they killed us off with the sword. They even used cannons, you know, as well as disease warfare. It says firearms, the musket. And then it goes into, well, I can read it. It's all good. It says European military technology, firearms, the musket, a smooth bore, muzzle loader was the standard firearm for European soldiers. It had a more lethal range than Native American bows. The single-shot nature of early guns meant that they were not always a decisive advantage, as a skilled archer could loose arrows faster than a soldier could reload. However, it says over time, more reliable percussion cap and repeating firearms like the Sharps and Winchester rifles gave colonists an overwhelming advantage, particularly against plains tribes. Next is cannons. Artillery was a key advantage for Europeans, though it was difficult to transport and use in guerrilla-style warfare. It says in specific instances, such as the Wounded Knee Massacre, cannons were deployed to devastate encampments. It says steel weapons and armor. It says conquistadors and early colonists used steel swords, pikes, and knives. See? Said he didn't kill him with the sword, they actually used swords, which could easily overpower the stone, bone, and wood weapons of Native Americans. Steel armor provided protection against Native American arrows, though most rank and file soldiers relied on quilted cotton or leather. It says horses. The Spanish introduced horses to the Americans, and their cavalry proved highly effective, particularly against the Aztecs. It says while many Native American tribes, most notably the Comanche and Sioux, adapted and mastered horsemanship, horses were initially a significant European advantage for warfare, transportation, and hunting. Right, so that's what they used. Let me get back to Revelation 13 and 9 one more again. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. Right. So payback. If you want to use a sword, well, the scriptures say brothers going to be able to use a sword. All right, this Psalms chapter 149. Or 148. Psalms chapter 149, verse 6, verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. The saints are the Israelites. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. See, they got that sword. The saints going to have a two-edged sword. Let me prove who the saints are real quick. Psalms chapter 147. Hold on. Nope, Psalms chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel. See, even of the children of Israel. Those are the saints. A people near unto him, praise ye the Lord. See? So that's who the saints are. Back to Psalms 149, verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. See? So we're going to get to use a sword to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written, this honor hath all his saints, praise ye the Lord. Right. The judgment means we're going to get payback. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. With thee will I break in pieces the nations. We shall rule them with the rod of iron, man. They got to pay. They got to pay us back for hanging up our people, man. Even though Jake was wicked in the reincarnation, we are the apple of the Lord's eye. We are the sons of God. You know? The Lord said he was going to bring us back with great mercy. Let me see if I can find that real quick, because I don't know exactly what I'm at. Then they got some type of Latin festival, Mexican festival going on, but they not really, I guess the numbers aren't there no more. They're not really celebrating it that much because of ICE. That's the Lord persecuting his people for their sins, man. This Isaiah 54 and 7, it says, for a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. right, and we're being gathered. The Lord is having mercy on his people, starting with his elect, his chosen. Right, man, so, yeah, that's what's coming. The Lord gonna have mercy on his people, starting with his elect. You know? 1/3 gonna be saved and delivered from over here in America. 2/3 gonna be cut off around the world, wherever the Lord wants his elect to be delivered, his chosen to be delivered, they're gonna be delivered from. You know, but remember, we as the sand of the sea. So we even look like the heathen. You're gonna have a lot of Jake that's gonna be around, that's gonna be brought unto us. Cause Jake gonna well, any Jake that don't want to submit gonna die. But Jake, the rest gonna submit. The heathen gonna even bring our people back unto us, man. You know, so that 1/3 is over and 2/3 is over here for America. But there is going to be deliverance around the world in certain areas, man. And then as far as the rest of our people that's alive and well during that time, they're going to come back. Come back, and we're going to eventually be made perfect. Oh, well, yeah, we're going to be made perfect in that day and put all the heathen in captivity, you know. So that's what you got to look out for. Right, but to get into my lesson, that's why you got a lot of Jake back into that 1/3, 2/3 situation. You got a lot of Jake that's gonna perish. You got a lot of Jake that's gonna die because they want to be gangbangers. They want to be niggas, African Americans. They want to have sex with each other women. They want to sag their pants like homosexuals. And that's going to be to their death. That's going to lead to their death. That's going to be to their detriment, which is going to lead to their death. We got a lot of our people that's teaching false doctrines. Well, believing false doctrines and teaching false doctrines. Calling themselves men of the Lord, whether they're Israelites in Islam, like Farrakhan or Farrakhan, or some Christian church. This is Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 1. It said, he cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them to have charge over the city, to draw near. And that's the angels. They have charge over these cities. The Lord got them making stuff happen. Even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughtered weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the Most High, the glory of the God of Israel, was gone up from the cherub, whereupon, and cherub means angelic being, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house, and he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Right, that mark is the mark of exemption. The Hebrew word is tawah, right? The exemption from the judgment that's being given out and that's to come. The ultimate judgment is going to be the nuclear missiles, right? They get that mark for doing what? Sighing and crying. Sighing and crying means what I'm doing. Putting these videos up, what the apostles doing, what the elders doing, what the brothers that's not under the banner of GMS are doing, what the elect are doing, teaching the word, complaining about the wickedness that's going on around the world. Wickedness is the things that's contrary to the gospel, contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, man. So the angels are marking those guys and those women. Verse 5. And to others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Smite means to kill. So he sent the rest of the angels to kill. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Right, don't show no one any mercy. Slay utterly old and young, both maids is young women, and little children, and women, it said women twice. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. It began at my sanctuary, begin at the Israelites. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Right. The ancient men that were before the house were the elders. So the Lord is sending the angels out to kill, but don't come near anyone who has that mark of exemption that's complaining about the abominations that's being done in the world right now. But go and kill everybody else. That's why it's so much death going on here, man. Because Jake want to be everything but righteous. They want to teach everything but righteousness, man. This 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. Right, and what does that mean? The judgment is beginning at the ones that's calling themselves that know the truth. The Lord has the angels watching us and making sure that we teach the correct doctrine. If we're not teaching the correct doctrine, we can be put to death. 1 Peter 4 and 17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? I kind of jumped. But yeah, if it begin at us that know the truth, what should be the end of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh Shai? And as you can see, Jacob getting gunned down in the streets. They got nuclear thermal missiles coming. They dying of famine. They dying of pestilence. They saying AIDS is at an all-time high in the black community in various cities. Trump getting ready to send the National Guard in to various cities. Memphis is next on the list. And on a small scale, they got Chicago covered. I think they still in Los Angeles. Washington, D.C. And then they came out with another video today. That video like 40-something minutes long. I started to watch it, but I didn't hear the next. They say he got some new cities lined up. So I didn't get to finish that video. Y'all watch this, I'll be able to finish it when I get to the crib. Figure out the next cities he has lined up. But all this is being orchestrated by Yahweh Shemau Shai because Jake want to be wicked. Jake is using this white man as his sword. He putting the spirit on these people via his angels to kill off these niggas, these 2/3 of our nation. That want to do everything and be everything but righteous. They want to worship every demon under the sun but Yahweh Shemau Shai, man. This is Hosea chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, ye children of Israel. For the Lord Yahweh hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth. This is for Israel, the Israelites. Nor mercy. They don't have the truth and they don't have no mercy on each other. They said Chicago ain't the number one. And I'm going to get into that in a second, since I'm on that topic. As the murder capital. It says no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. Right, so Jacob don't have the truth, man. They don't understand who they are according to the Lord. They don't understand what righteousness is. By swearing, and these are their traits. These are the characteristics. This is part of their morals. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery. Committing adultery means, technically, when you have sex with a woman and she becomes your wife, when you have sex with her as a virgin, she becomes your wife. That's what it means to commit adultery. But we are not in them times. I mean, well, you might have, well, shit. You might have some brothers that didn't head virgins and might be still with these women. But the vast majority of the nation of Israel are not dealing with virgins. Because these women are having sex at young ages, 12, 13, 14, and having hundreds of sexual partners. So what qualifies your wife today is the woman that you're dealing with, the woman that you're having sex with, that you keep around with you in a relationship. You know? So let me read it again. Hosea 4 and 2, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery. So they having sex with each other's women. The word adultery, loosely paraphrasing it, loosely stating it basically, means to cut. You cutting in between somebody's relationship. That bond, that spirit that's there. The man puts the spirit on the woman. You cutting in between that and putting your spirit. And that's how they get all these demons on them. That's why their vaginas start to stink. That's why the Lord said that you're not supposed to commit adultery. You're not supposed to have sex with another man's woman. The women are not supposed to have multiple husbands because her land, her body is defiled. You know? So, we hear all these things in the rap talking about them having sex with another man's woman. They break out and blood touches blood. That means they killing each other, man. Verse 3, it says, therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwell therein shall languish. The beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. And that's the curse that has come upon this place because of Jake's wicked acts. The land is mourning. Esau is not following the land Sabbath. So the land is not yielding its proper nutrients. Everyone that dwell therein shall languish. They are spiritually weakened because they don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord. With the beast of the field is the cattle. And with the fowls of heaven, the birds. Yea, and the fishes of the sea, various types of fish. Also shall be taken away, meaning the Lord killing them off. I'm going to jump to verse 4. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. The black/Native Americans are destroyed because they don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord. Like I said earlier, they gangbangers. Pants sagging, that's a homosexual trend. They're hanging out at the corners or hanging out at these stores, these gas stations in Chicago, selling drugs, etc. It says, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Since they reject the Lord, the true understanding of the gospel, like that dude, that young dude, older K, looked like he around 30. It says, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Right, so the Lord's rejecting them. They can't fulfill this office that I'm fulfilling, that the apostles are fulfilling, that the Lord fulfilled. They can't do this. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, because the law is not done away with, I will also forget thy children. Right, so the Lord is forgetting the whole household. The whole household is perishing, meaning dying by some type of event, man. They want to adhere to Yahweh Shema Shai, so the Lord is killing them off. And that's what they deserve, man, for their wickedness. so I can bear with me. This is Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 6. He said furthermore unto me, Son of man, seest thou what they do, even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here? That I should go far off from my sanctuary? But turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations. And he brought me to the door of the court. And when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. Then said he unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. And he said unto me, Go in, and behold the wicked abominations that they do here. So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping things, and abominable beast, and all the idols of the house of Israel. See, these are the demons that they worship, the idols. Portrayed upon the wall round about. And there stood before them 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel. And in the midst of them stood Jaazaniah, the son of Shaphan, with every man his censer in his hand, burning incense. And a thick cloud of incense went up. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark, in secret? Every man in the chambers of his imagery. For they say, the Lord Yahweh seeth us not. The Lord Yahweh hath forsaken the earth. He said also unto me, Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. So they were worshiping idols, and they think the Lord don't know. That's what Jake them doing now today. The truth is here. We fell away. We lost the truth. The Lord gave it back. It's here. And Jake still want to worship idols. It says, Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord Yahweh's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Let me get up what Tammuz is real quick. Not only the ancient men, you got the women worshiping Tammuz. All right, Tammuz is a Samaritan deity of food or vegetation. That was on a blue letter. Let me see. Tammuz was an ancient Mesopotamian vegetation and fertility god, known as Du-Mu-Zid or Du-Mu-Zai by the Sumerians, and later as Adonis by the Greeks, whose myth centers on his death and return from the underworld, representing the changing seasons. The term Tammuz refers to the 4th month of the Hebrew calendar. What? During which the fast of the 17th of Tammuz is observed. It ain't the Israelite Hebrew calendar. I never heard this. Is observed commemorating the breaching of Jerusalem's walls. Yeah, no, I ain't never heard that one. Yeah, but this is a deity that Jake worshiped. And Beyonce, some information came out about Beyonce that I picked up on a little while back. You know, I'll be able to put that video up soon. Of her worshiping the deity, I think it's Oshun. I think that's the deity name. Let me look it up. But her, certain other rappers, what's that nigga name? Mr. Ifa Tunde, the psychologist, Dr. Umar, under that Queen of Heaven vibration. He be speaking about them demons, them deities, going back to African culture, which is all of Satan. So these motherfuckers is worshiping them same devil demons and calling it righteous and putting it in your face. Or a lot of them, they was trying to hide it, but since we at the end of the world, or the end of Esau's kingdom, the Lord is giving the mysteries, giving us the breakdowns and information, and having a lot of this information come out via other people, so that he can have his righteous straightened up. But that's why the angels go around killing people, because they don't have the mark. They worshiping other gods and idols. And Beyonce got millions of people following her. So best believe out of the millions, you got millions that worshiping them same damn demonic idols. That's why them sellouts gonna be put to death, man. You might have some that come back. You might. Oshun, his Tammuz story remind me of Oshun's stories, similar. That's what that was. Nah, it was something else. But I'm paying attention. Oshun, also spelled Osun, Osun, or Ozum, is a significant Orisha deity in the Yoruba religion. You hear Dr. Umar mentioning this, Yoruba religion. I got a video up on that. I'm just gathering the information. I'll be able to bring it out. It says Yoruba religion of West Africa. Who was in West Africa? The Israelites, before they were picked up and brought into slavery. Judah, Benjamin, Levi predominantly, which is a so-called African American. Judah, Benjamin is the so-called Jamaicans. Trinidad, Levi, so-called Haitians. Associated with the Osun River, who embodies love, beauty, fertility, wealth, and sensuality. And it's the spirit that she prays to, and it gives her things. It says worship for her nurturing qualities and her role in the creation of humanity. We all know that Yahweh Shai and the angels, the first fruits, created what you call humanity. And it was given to Adam to name the animals and such. Not no fucking woman. Through Yahweh. It says she is often depicted with gold, mirrors, and fans, and is honored at the annual Osogbo festival. The deity's influence extends throughout the African diaspora, appearing in Afro-Brazilian religions. Even the Brazilians. I say Afro-Brazilian because what's going on? All right, because you got Jake that came from Africa over there to Brazil, but the Brazilians is of the tribe of Asher. So they more likely worship the same demons, taken after Judah. It says religions like it says appearing in Afro-Brazilian religions like Candomblé and inspiring the music duo Oshun and Beyonce's portrayal in Lemonade. See? I said it came out that she was worshiping it, and I watched videos of it, but it says it right here. She portrayed this demon. Right, so she got a video coming real soon. But that's what that Ezekiel 8 was talking about. See what they do? Look at that, they worshiping these idols, burning incense and things of that nature. I seen something else where it says it was in Cuba also. Alright, so back to this Ezekiel. Salakia. My camera going in and out like that. It's trying to catch, what do you call that? So if I pointed at the light, it's trying to catch some light. So it's trying to focus and refocus. That's all it's doing. All right, so this is back at Ezekiel. Chapter 8, verse 14. It says, then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women, weeping for Tammuz. Then said he unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house. And behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, with their backs towards the temple of the Lord and their faces toward the east, and they worship the sun toward the east. It says, then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? It is a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here. For they have filled the land with violence and have returned to provoke me to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose. Therefore will I also deal in fury. My eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. And though they cry in mine ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them. Who is the worship of the sun? Let me Google it. This is why Jake and them going through what they're going through, because they want to worship the devil. They want to worship demons. They want to worship idols. But when all hell break loose, and even now, they're trying to cry to the Lord, but the Lord's not fucking with them.